It didn't give me the pop-up, but it isn't. There it is. No. All right, folks, we are green. I'm not sure if this is live. If it is, for some reason it has the wrong title. If so, we will change that and edit it. This is the Sunday Cup League 22nd season. And this is the IndyCar Road America race. And it looks like they have waved off the They've waved off green flag racing. We'll see what happens here. Colio, can you hear me in the booth?
Yes.
All right. We are live. We have a track map up for you folks. We got drivers on the left and a ticker on the bottom. Riding currently with the pole sitter, Sir Ray Salon.
We are green. Green flag is out. Or we're not.
No, we are not.
Race Salon's just revving it up. I think they may have attempted to.
Yeah, and everyone probably wasn't caught up or bunched up in the field. Looks like the field is caught up. Should be going green here shortly. I spoke with WK earlier today, and he said he has practiced up for this race, got in some track time. We'll see how he does. According to his qualifying order, he's not doing too bad. All right, guys, they're getting closer. It looks like this is where it's going to happen. Getting closer. And they are green, green, green. Here we go. Let's see the first corner. That's where all the good things happen.
Looks like they waved it off.
Yeah, it seems to be waved off again. They may do this as some kind of local caution too. I'm not sure. They may not go around a whole lap. We'll see. Not sure how they handle that in this series. There's Pirelli sponsoring some of the tires. And I believe they're getting ready to go under the Sargento Cheese overpass. Just so you know, folks, while WK is out on the field, this is Kip's Hall and Ass broadcasting with Colio, and we are substituting for him and Johnny Benson Jr. Maybe we should ride on board in the middle of the pack on the next restart to see if we can see what's going on here. We'll ride with Twenty. We do have some. We do have
guest commentator Johnny Benson.
Johnny Benson Jr. is in the room. Guest commentator. If he can turn that mic up really loud, we may be able to hear him.
You guys got a copy on me? Hello.
Absolutely. This is the third try for the start. This, we're going to run with the middle of the pack on the start this time, the restart, and see if we can catch up what's going on here.
Yeah, that's how it is sometimes. I know it took a long time to get his Trans Am race going last night.
And they should be green. There they are. We'll watch this first corner and see how it ends up down here. That's usually where all the fun begins.
Yeah, first corner is definitely one of the toughest ones with the whole group packed up like they do.
Ooh, someone went off and back on. Did a good job. I believe that was Barron. Oh, it may have been Callie.
The latest in that dead carpenter car got a little sideways going through the Sargento loop there.
Currently with Tiernizzle, he's challenging Sir Race a lot, putting the pressure on. Tiernizzle is fast, folks. We all know this. So isn't Sir Race a lot. Sir Race a lot's known to have some engine troubles, but it looks like he's working well right at the moment.
I believe these two ran up front during the Trans Am race on Friday night, and Tiernizzle gave Sir Race a lot all he could give for the end there, and I believe Colt ended up winning it, but Tiernizzle was probably across the field all night.
Yes, Sir Race-A-Lot was not in the Trans Am race. It was Tiernizzle, Cold, and Carlin, the major hitters all night in the first three spots. Its PT was in there also a little bit.
Looks like they're coming up on lap traffic.
Quickly.
I guess we're watching Shane O'Kano right now.
There's Sir Race-A-Lot. We're riding with him.
Yeah, Sir Race-A-Lot's got quite a bit of experience under his belt. He's awesome on these road courses. He's very fast in the good supercar race.
Tiernizzle's not letting him out of his sight, though. Other than that, they are breaking away from the rest of the field. Getting an in-car view from Tiernizzle chasing down Sir Race-A-Lot. Just look at how hard these guys have to brake going into them corners so fast.
Yeah, this track is very tricky. It has a lot of long straightaways with tight 90-degree corners. And I know personally I was up to lunch last night in the Trans Am. It looks like Trans Am or Tiernizzle is using all of the racetrack as you come through those corners and runs right up the level strip.
We're running back about mid-pack here, a little before mid-pack with Cold. He's really trying to get around Callie here. See what happens when they hit the corner. Braking's key here. Oh, and Callie hits the grass a little. I'm sure Cole's going to overtake him here.
Cole's got a real good looking Indy car. I love the way that number 3 Penske car looks for the JME bunch as he overtakes and moves up the board into 6th position.
And it looks like Sir Race-A-Lot has put up a little bit of a distance between him and Tiernizzle.
Over a second, it looks like, and Sir Race-A-Lot's pulling away. I'm sure Tiernizzle's not giving anything up, racing as hard as he can to try and catch him, but Sir Race-A-Lot's a hell of a driver once you get him on a road course.
Very nice cornering there by Tiernizzle. Boy, if you're not on the brakes when you go over that hump, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it can be, I think they're down in turns 5 and 6 right here. Coming out of 6, it's a little bit humpy, like you said, and then you got that really fast right-hander as they come and try and get set up for the carousel. As you were saying, Kip, carousel's the turn that never ends.
That is a fact. It's kind of a fun turn, though. It's probably one of the best parts of the course.
But tell you what, if it was a left-handed turn, I'd be a lot better at it.
Let's jump to the back here a little bit and see what's going on back here. I see 3 cars together. Down in there, there we go. There's 3 right there.
Yeah, looks like Antoine Senna's one of them.
Yeah, we got Rita in the Verizon. Right directly ahead of her is Carlin Hicks in the Sunday Verizon car. And Callie.
Callie Vital's doing very good in that Ed Carpenter Chevrolet. I mean, this is a very spread out course, over 4 miles here at Road America. And it takes a long time to make a lap, so obviously these guys are only on lap number 8 at this point. It's a long lap, and you got to do everything right to set up a quick lap here at this track. You got a lot of room to mess up.
It's important to note that since very long straightaways, if you make a slight mistake in any of the technical corners just before a straightaway, you're losing tons of speed.
You'll lose a lot of speed. You'll lose a lot of speed getting down into the corners too if you don't hit the brakes correctly and you stop too early or get too deep in the corner without slapping the brakes. You'll get it'll mess your whole lap up. That's why these guys that get really fast laps, they're hitting every corner perfectly.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, as far as staying on the track, which is key in placing in these kind of events. Listen, I haven't seen too many crazy offs yet.
No, once they get spread out, these cars ain't super hard to control with the stability and traction control. So once these cars get spread out like they are and they're not racing up on top of each other, you can get some good green flag runs.
Speaking of spreading out, this track is situated over 640 acres of land and it's 4 miles long. These guys can get spread out, but it may take a minute.
Oh, it's definitely a big track, over 4 miles. Biggest course we go to throughout the season. And like you say, once they get spread out, it's hard to catch each other up and get into issues with each other because you're so spread out. The faster cars go out in front, the slower cars behind. Really the only time you get into a position where you might have a problem is the overlapping cars.
Right along with Aram here a little bit. He's trying to run down Rita. Him and Rita and Carlin have seemed to be pretty close together this entire race so far.
Carlin seems to have about a second advantage on the 2 at the moment. Could be decreasing.
Well, Carlin's got the advantage of being able to run the Trans Am race last night. I'm not sure that Rita ran it, and I'm sure that Aaron didn't run it last night, so he's got a little bit more track experience than those two.
Yeah, and don't forget, folks, I always tell everyone about Carlin Hicks. Don't he's in the Sunday car. Don't ever count him out. He does conserve and stay on the track. Where you see him pick up will be later in the race.
Yeah, you can never count out the Sunday car. Hopefully it's like that in Sunday's Firecracker 400. When I'm driving the Sunday car, you can never count them out.
Hey, let's ride with Twindy, being he was here yesterday.
Really loose in the backstretch there.
Yeah, let's ride with Twindy and see how he's doing today. He struggled here yesterday in the Trans Am. Let's see how he's doing today in the IndyCar here.
Twindy's got that real good-looking white Chevrolet. See right along on board here. He's got racing red tires on it.
Yeah, he's out in the shale there, overrun the corner.
And that's a hard corner. That last corner, it sneaks up on you, almost as rough as Canada Corner. Probably the second toughest corner next to Canada Corner.
Yeah, and Super.
He did a hell of a job of holding on to it.
Super
8 in the Menards car is looking good too.
Yeah, Super 8's one of those drivers to where you never know which day what driver's showing up. Super can run like the best of us in the front of the pack, and then there's days where his car just seems to have nothing but troubles.
I think a lot of it is experience. Once Super starts getting more experience in the game and in these cars, he's going to be running up front every week.
Back in with Rita. She's right up Carlin's rump now. Will she go around her teammate or just be happy and stay back there? And that was a bonus.
Hey-o.
It's not every day you get a feature like that in your IndyCar race.
No, I think Rita St. James is really coming to her own here in the IndyCar Series. She ran so good in the Indy 500. Almost won the thing. If it wasn't for a little bit of dirty air that shot her up into the wall late in the race, I think she might have been a very good contender for the win in the Indy 500. But
she's reeling in Carlin Hicks, and she's kind of up and down with him right now, more staying even than anything. Looks like Barron has gained a little on WKKK. May have fallen back now since last lap, but he was closing in a little bit. That might be a battle to watch out for.
Yeah, and Sir Race.
I don't think they're going to battle too hard, Rita and Carlin. Rita might have the better car, but she probably is going to waver on the side of just hanging out behind Carlin at this point. Because you never want to go out there and spin out.
Teammates.
You never want to go out there and spin out team owner.
It appears as if Twindy has gotten quite a bit of a gap over Super. Twindy seemed to have made a mistake, and well, he's faster overall, and he runs clean. He's got about a 4-second advantage on him right now.
We're running a lot of in-car cameras. Let's try and get a little bit of the trackside cameramen into the fold here. I think these cars look really good, and this is a big picturesque track. It'd be nice to see some of these cars coming off the corner and seeing how they're doing. Obviously, in-car shows you a lot, but it's really a good view of watching these cars come off the corner. They're battling so hard, and some of these people, like Rita St. James and Carlin, battling so hard. It's nice to see them actually fly through the corners like they are. Come up to Canada Corner here and see how they do. Nice run. Looks like Carlin got a little high through Canada Corner. Rita did a really good job She's probably running a lot better line than Carlin is, but Carlin's got the spot at this point.
Yeah, she's running real conservative behind him. Probably a very smart thing to do early on in this race.
I don't blame her at all. It looks like so Race-A-Lot's out to a really good lead, over 2 seconds now, over Tiernizl. WKK making one of his not so frequent starts here in the IndyCar Series, running in 3rd place, doing very good. World 600 champion Byron Van Stosh is also running very good in the 4th place. Shane O'Cano from Down Under is running good in the 5th place. Ooh, a little bit off track there. We got Cole running in the 6th position. Again, Carlin and Rita 7th and 8th. We've got Aram Origins running in 7th place. Kelly Vital running in the 10th position. And not sure who that is in the 11th spot.
It's Price.
Price, okay, he's a newcomer to the league.
Yeah.
Price. He's doing pretty good. We got Twindy in 12th place, Yurgon in 13th. 14th, we got Super. It looks like we got one shoe in the 15th spot, and one are running off the field in 15th and 16th. So all these people are running very good. Looks like one of them might be in position to get lapped soon. But everybody's doing really good for being 13 laps in the books and still
green. That's the positive here.
Again, this is a big road course over 4 miles. Everybody gets strung out. You can see on the map where nobody's really trailing each other. There's a little bit of a battle.
Looks like our leaders is coming up on the lap traffic. We might want to switch to that and see.
Race right here. Aram Origins, Rita St. James, Sunday Cup League. That's the battle right now.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like some of our leaders just passing lap traffic.
Yeah.
That's probably one of them.
I'll tell you, depending on this lap traffic, when they hit it, that 2 to 3 second advantage that Sir Race-A-Lot has can go away real quickly, depending on where he catches that lap traffic. If he catches them in a corner, that's going to give Tiernizl a big advantage.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to mess up your braking zone coming into a corner, and the guy behind you to not mess up the braking zone to be right on your bumper.
Tiernizl gets a little loose there, I think, or was that Wanma?
That was Wanma. Sir Race-A-Lot's getting a lot closer to him now.
Yeah, Wanma had it all hung out there, didn't he?
Yeah, he was sideways quite a bit, but he did save it.
Wanma just ahead of him.
Yeah, this is where Tiernizl may catch a lucky break, depending where Sir Race-A-Lot catches Wanma at.
I don't think it's going to be down in turn 1, but it might be down in turn 3 where he catches him.
We'll watch this close here and see what happens.
I'm betting on turn 3 myself.
Is that Aram Origins disconnected?
Yes.
Yeah.
Origins has retired.
Just blew his motor. The BSC power plant didn't hold out too long.
Oh boy, here he comes with the lap traffic.
Coming down in turn 3, we'll see what happens.
Let's see how much Tiernizl gains on him when he hits this lap traffic.
Got nowhere to go.
Ho ho ho! He is on him. Finally gets around one.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's so hard to pass these guys.
Tiernizl back to within a second.
That's correct. See, Tiernizl back to within a second because of that.
But you can see Tiernizl right behind him.
Tiernizl's got one more to go around.
Tiernizl gets through the lap traffic. It's a battle of lap traffic at this point. Really closed in the lead. Sir Race-A-Lot, Tiernizl. Tiernizl really moving up on Sir Race-A-Lot. It's back down to 7/10 of a second. That's a really good looking 98 Napa Honda, isn't it?
It does look fine, and the red ring tires, boy, they're really
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any other compound tonight. These red
Oh,
tires are really
and in goes Sir Race-A-Lot.
Let's see if he can find his pit box, as he struggled to find it earlier in qualifying.
Yes, he did. Oh, he zoomed right to it. Not a problem.
It looks like he was really low on fuel.
No, looks like we have other takers also. Barron's in the pit. Shane O'Cano's in the pits.
Turismo looks like he's got, what, 6.9, so he's going to probably try and hang out there for a couple more laps. Which received the ready cars in pit lane. That's wrong with the hydroxy cut car, also in pit lane. Looks like Cold staying out, the Penske Pennzoil machine.
Callie in the pit.
So Race-A-Lot's back out, enjoying the field in third spot.
Oh, you can tell them tires are cold for him. Little push. Tierney continues to lead. We'll see. I'm betting he'll pit this time by, maybe not.
He oughta. He won't be making it the rest of the next lap.
No.
We'll see if this paid off for him.
He's gotten into second place here. So Race-A-Lot's trying to eat up as much track as he can with the new tires and full of fuel. And we'll see if Tierney can run the perfect lap here.
And
they were so close when when Sir Race-A-Lot pulled into the pits. If Tierney can run a perfect lap here, he might be able to get in front as we got a car off the track.
Yeah, it's WKK was off the track. He's back on now.
Looks like Tierney's pulling into the pits, and we'll see what the BSE crew can do for him here. They can get him out in front of Sir Race-A-Lot. It's going to be a hell of a pit stop.
Oh boy, here we go. He is out in front.
Takes the lead.
The extra lap has paid off.
Paid them boys so good.
The extra lap has paid off. Let's see what Sir Race-A-Lot does. Let's see if he challenges him on the long straightaways.
The BSE pit crew is on their game today, and Tierney getting into the pits, getting stopped fast enough, and getting back out, gained all that position. So Race-A-Lot might not have got into the pits so quick.
Warren Keith all in the pits now, including Rita, 20, and one shoe. Let's go back to the battle with Sir Race-A-Lot and Turismo.
Yeah, this is going to get good because he's either going to swing in or out on one of the turns or try to get him.
Looks like one of them guys missed the pit. I didn't see who it was. It might have been one of the Verizon cars. Shot right through the pit. Could have been Rita.
Oh boy. She won't be happy about that.
It was Rita. She still has low fuel, and I know she went through the pits.
Yeah, I just got a glimpse of it there. She just shot through her pit, so... Yeah, that's what costs you in these big races where it's strung out. You're not going to have a yellow flag. It all comes down to how you race the track, the time you lose every lap, and pit stops are really important.
Like we may have a battle here with Sunday and WKKK.
Yep, WKKK's running a very good race, but he's falling back in the pack after their pit stop.
Yeah, and the off-track adventure he took.
Just before his pit stop. Like he may be recuperating and going away from Carlin Hicks.
Let's check with the leaders again. This has got to be close. These guys have got to be... Getting a view from on board with Sir Race-A-Lot to Tierney, just to give you guys an idea how fast these corners come up. Watch how close they get to each other when they hit these corners. The distance isn't that far. Look at here. All right, back to the other view. Yeah, it
Well, looks
looks.
like Rita went back into the pits, and she has fallen back rapidly. She had to make a second pit stop.
Yeah, her fuel depletion was. Well, she was kind of lucky, maybe even to make it around the track again.
Well, I think she blew through the pits the first time, didn't back up into it, just made another lap. And it really cost her a lot. She's all the way down into 8th position.
But right back with her teammate again.
Yeah, that's telling me that she's a quicker driver, or she took less fuel in the pits or something. But to miss her pit stall, go around and make another pit stop, and still be right behind Carlin. Either she's way faster than he is, or she didn't take much gas, and it looks like she has a lot of fuel in her tank.
Yeah, maybe he made a mistake somewhere too that we missed. That's very possible. He may have had off.
Well, another thing to look at is if she realized she was going to blow her pit stop, she may have just not even slowed down that much and continued to go fast through the pits.
In the outside lane, very possible. Big wide lanes.
Penalized for hauling ass through the pit, so.
Uh-oh. Little offage there from her.
Looks like Tiernizzle's developed about a 2-second gap over Sir Race-A-Lot with this lap traffic they're going through.
Listen, that's the last thing Sir Race-A-Lot wants to see. Tiernizzle is a fast driver on his own.
Well, Sir Race-A-Lot was about 2 seconds above before that round of pit stops, and now Tiernizzle's 2 seconds above, so if Tiernizzle hits some lap traffic, yeah, he can definitely have Sir Race-A-Lot right on his back bumper once again.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out who that is between them. Baron, it looks like. Maybe. Nope.
It's a Pertec Penske car. It could be Baron.
Well, it wasn't Baron, but we did, Sir Race-A-Lot did get around the lap track. Although he's 2.5 seconds back now. WKK is doing his best to chase down Cold.
Yeah, WKK was holding his own, holding third place really well until he went on that off-track excursion, but he's fighting his way back. Looks like WKK and I can't tell who that is. Oh, it's Cold. Yes, it's Cold. I think he's gaining a little ground on Cold.
WKK's having a nice battle here, trying to get in the top 5 on Cold. Cold's doing a hell of a job trying to hold her off. How much time do we have left in this race?
We have, we're on lap 19 of 52.
So that's quite a long race here at Road America. Like I said, over 4 miles a lap. So 52 laps is going to be quite a long race. We're nowhere near halfway yet. And Tiernizzle has a great lead right now, but that all can change soon enough.
Yeah, Jama said he had a stable, even, slightly tight car all the way through practice and qualify. He said, and as soon as the race start, it was undrivable. The dirty air just killed him.
I think a lot of that comes down to your controller settings, your stability control, your controller sensitivity, which makes it, so you can drive it by yourself, but as soon as you get in the pack, like we were doing some drafting at Daytona in the Cup cars earlier today, Kip, it's a lot different running by yourself than it is in the pack, and the dirty air plays a big factor, whether you have your controller sensitivity and your stability control or your speed sensitivity set correctly.
Yeah, it really is, and I'll tell you, when it comes to Sunday's race here, we're a little off subject here, but when it comes to Sunday's race, let me tell you, folks, that'll be one to watch, because if everyone can get their stuff set up correctly, there should be some decent race in there. Be a lot of fall of the leader, but in the same token, if you can get guys hooked up correctly, you may see some side-by-side out there also.
Well, that's what I'm worried about, is everybody not having their stuff correctly or not practicing enough for the room. I know we had 5 or 6 people practicing today, but I'm worried about everybody else that didn't practice and is going to come in there and try to make the field. They might be able to run fast by themselves to get into the field, but once they get in the pack, they might be trouble.
Yeah, I have to agree with that wholeheartedly. It takes some real talent to drive that car at that track with other cars around you. Believe me.
Even the most experienced drivers, you know, me and yourself, Kip, and Colio, and even Carlin, we're going to have issues driving there. So it was rough in the 500. We had many cautions in the Daytona 500 this season. Hopefully it'll be a little better, maybe a couple less cautions, but I think the more times we get back to the track and the more times people work on their setups and practice and the more laps they have at the speedway, the better it's going to get.
That's been proven time and time again, season after season. Listen, we used to have Caution Fest back in the old day, but once everybody got used to the track, got their cars the way they should be, most of those problems went away. It will happen again like that, I'm positive.
Yeah, we've only had one actual points race there in the Cup cars, and it's going to be the second one on Sunday. But right now they're having a hell of a race here at Road America. Looks like Two Mins is still in the lead over So Race a Lot. Barron's getting closer, but he's quite a ways behind, over 17 seconds it looks like. So Barron trying all he can to catch up to those 2 leaders, but those 2 leaders are really the class of the field right now.
As we've been speaking, So Race a Lot has gained about a half second to 3/4 of a second on Two Mins.
And, ooh, he just had a little offage there, though. That'll slow him down a bit. Well, I'll tell you, all you got to do is touch that grass one little bit, and like Colio said earlier, if you touch that one little bit and then you're headed into a long straight, you have just screwed yourself.
WKK did have another slight off-track excursion earlier as he was catching hold, and now he's catching back up.
Yeah, he's reeling him in nicely.
I'm currently riding along with WKK's YouTube feed, and it looks like he's doing a good job. He races the helmet cam, so it's kind of moving around on him a little bit, but it looks like he's trying to catch up to Cole here. Like you said, a little bit sideways, but he's holding on to it. WKK's doing a hell of a job. You got to check out that feed on the Sunday Cup YouTube channel, WKK on board.
Yeah, I spoke with him personally today before the race, and he told me he'd been practicing for this, and he was hoping he could do well. I wished him luck, and it seems it's really easy to see that he's been practicing. He may have had a couple little offs there, but nothing like some of your backpackers. Believe me, he's been practicing.
Rita St. James has moved up past her teammate Carlin Hicks within the past lap, and they're still running very close together. Just been something as simple as Carlin taking the turn just a couple feet wide to let her get around.
They may have done that purposely. We'll see what happens here. If Lita takes the lead here, maybe they can, she's running a little better line than him. Maybe she'll show him the line and they'll pick some time up.
Well, another thing is she may pull away from him. Looks like
I think Rita has the quicker car. As we saw earlier in the race, she was just kind of holding back behind Carlin, and now that she's got in front of Carlin, I think she can kind of set sail. And she gained so much time in the pits there. I gotta believe she was running faster laps once she got out by herself and not with Carlin in front of her.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Either that or he made some kind of mistake that we didn't see that was very costly, but I don't think so. I think she's running the wheels off it. As you can see, she's starting to distance already, yes.
she's already blown away from him, and I don't think that's any of Carlin's wrongdoing. He's just not as fast as Reed is.
Here's some of our lap times, guys. Let's see here. Boy, Sir Race-A-Lot really threw down. He's the only one with a 1:49. We'll see how that works. All right, back to the live racing.
Here, Neville just got another fastest lap, and
he did.
Sir Race-A-Lot's fastest lap.
Yes, he did just bust. Tiernizzle himself, as we speak, just busted into the 1:49.
These cars are getting light in fuel. They've kind of figured out the track at this point, so I think a lot of these guys will be able to run up there and start getting really good lap times as they get later in the race. Their cars, tires get hotter, and they get lower fuel, and they start to learn the track more and more.
Boy, WK. Yeah, he's really closing in on cold now, and they're coming up on a little bit of lappage here. Let's see.
See, fly to the last turn here.
That's Price.
Watching the
yeah, that's Price. They're going around.
Here, so
look at this, boy, WKK. Whoo! Close to the nose of Price there. Look at that, almost got him.
Well, he did lose a little bit of time. It's cold.
Whoa, that was. I think you did get him a little bit. I think Price touched him.
Did it? Yeah, it was. Hey, it was so close. I think either that, and I wasn't.
WKK on board, and he had to hold it on a lot.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it wasn't. Yeah, I'm not sure it wasn't mutual either, because at the same time, WKK was turning into the corner.
Yeah, I watched from WKK's onboard camera, and he didn't look back at all. But he got into that corner, and I think Price was just right there, and they just clipped a little bit. Just enough to set him off a little bit through the corner. WKK is a hell of a driver. He held on.
Hang on to it. There we go. See, he just a hell of a driver. He just saved it right there after he was out in the grass. Nice save. Most drivers would have been spun out.
Oh yeah, he was way out there. He was completely sideways, no pavement underneath his tires, and he still held on to it.
Looks like Rita may have about a 4 to 5 second lead over her teammate Carlin Hicks at this point.
Ever since she's went around him, she's just leaving him. They've got that car dialed in, that's for sure. I think you're right. I think you're right, JB. I think she's got the faster car today.
Well, not so much faster car. I think they're probably both about the same. Rita just might be a little bit better this weekend.
I know she's running a better line. Boy, WKK he's starting to struggle a little here now.
Losing concentration.
Yeah, he got a little bit off the corner there in the last turn, and he got sideways coming off the corner, going up the straightaway. He's doing the best he can now, trying to hold on to it. WKK, this is probably his second IndyCar race of the season. Might be his first IndyCar race of the season, but yeah, fatigue might be getting to him. He might be not used to running such long races here. We're on lap 24 and just about halfway.
That is true. Fatigue will settle in here. And it becomes so routine that you actually kind of daydream off and can hurt yourself.
It's such a long track. It's not like you can keep up with the lap times every time. So, you know, once you get out there and you're just running along and you don't have anybody around you, that's the worst part. When you got a rabbit to chase, it makes it a little bit easier to run around the course. But once you're out there all by yourself and you don't really have a rabbit to chase, you can get kind of bored out there and start daydreaming.
Yeah, so Race-A-Lot in the pit again. We'll see what happens here, how him and Tiernizzle choose to do their pitting.
It's like he had quite a bit of fuel over. Looks like he had 14 liters on board.
Yeah, he may have burned his tires up.
Yeah, I don't know that this was a fuel stoppage. It might have been not a very good pit strategy. But
we'll see. He put about 55 liters in the tank. Tiernizzle has about 5 liters advantage on him anyways.
If Tiernizzle can stretch this out and make one less pit stop, that's going to be huge in the end of this race.
Oh, yes. Very much a factor if he stretches this out.
Looks like Sir Race.
Well, you got to think he's going to be a lot quicker with less fuel in his car also.
Oh, yes.
Depending on where his tires are at with less fuel, if he can make 3 more laps than Sir Race-A-Lot did and be able to stretch it out and not to make as many not to make as many pit stops as Tiernizzle. That could be a big plus for Tiernizzle.
Yeah, I think that's how Tiernizzle actually got around him in the first one. He stayed out 1 lap longer. His car was lighter. He ran a really fast lap, had a good pit stop, and I think he's going to do the same thing again and get an even bigger lead.
He's got 2 seconds on him after Sir Race-A-Lot's pit time.
Well, Tiernizzle has a lot more experience getting in and off the pit road. He runs a lot of Trans Am races, tons of Camel GT races, handful of Winston Cup races. He's got 1 Winston Cup win. So he's very agile at getting in and out of the pits as fast as possible. So I think that might be his advantage here over Sir Race-A-Lot. He doesn't have as many SCL races, and he might be used to coming in using his pit limiter and getting into the pits that way, where in the SCL here we run wide open in the pits. That might be a little bit of a difference to him.
That's true. Very much true. That pit limit, going from pit limit to none is an extreme difference. Barron in for his stall.
Looks like Tiernizzle could go another lap without pitting this lap if he wanted to possibly gain even more time. Like I said, he's still real consistent with about the 1.5 seconds advantage. It looks like it's continually dropping as I speak. Sir Race-A-Lot is catching him rapidly at this point.
Yeah, I would assume that Tiernizzle isn't the fuel, isn't the issue. I'm sure it's tires. I mean, I know he's low and he has to pit on the fuel, don't get me wrong, but I think these tires really go at this point.
These two are definitely class of the field, though, Tiernizzle and Sir Race-A-Lot. I just want to give a quick shout out to Daz. He's one of our regular competitors. Didn't look like he could make the race tonight. He would have if he could have, but he's watching along here on YouTube. Just giving a good shout out to Daz. He's one hell of a driver, and it's getting better as he comes, but looks like Tiernizzle might be looking to make a pit stop here very quickly.
Yes, and I stand with you on that. Yes, Daz, we're glad you're watching, and we got Actrovision out there watching also, and he agreed. It was just tires, 100%, he says.
Tiernizzle going 1 more lap. Yeah. Cold and, no, not Cold, but Cali and WKK just made pit stops as well.
I think Tiernizzle might be able to go another lap after this one, maybe 2 more laps. Looks like Cold's getting right down there in the teens with Tiernizzle. So Cold and Tiernizzle trying to hold it out for 1 more lap here, trying to stretch these pit stops out and maybe make 1 less pit stop than everybody else. That could be huge.
We've seen
Tiernizzle's still bouncing around that 2-second range lead that he's had over Sir Race-A-Lot since he's been back up to speed after the pit stop. So we'll see how that ends up after it looks like we have Chano Kano in the pits now, 3rd place in the job.
Yeah, we've seen pit strategies play out over all the seasons we've been racing. Let me tell you something. We've seen some crazy pit strategies, and some work, and sometimes they don't, and sometimes both strategies it comes right down to the wire. They both worked, and may the best man win.
Yeah, spit strategies, that's what she said. But
yeah, that's the thing with spit strategy. It comes down to who's better at the end of the race, who's got the most nerve. Looks like some of these guys still have their push to pass button ready to roll here. So
yeah, they get 10 boosts in this race.
That could be a big factor also.
Like Chano Kano still got all of his. Take a look at.
It's just hard to know when to do it. Obviously, on the big long backstretch might be a good place to hit it, but it lasts for quite a while once you do hit it. So you might be a little too fast coming out of some of these real tight corners with it enabled.
Yeah, good note. Tiernizzle just pitted finally on that last lap there. He's running out of the pit now. We'll see where Sir Race-A-Lot comes out with it.
Yeah,
looks
and
like
look.
He had over a minute.
And look at the boost difference between Tiernizzle and Sir Race-A-Lot.
I was also about
Sir
to note
Race-A-Lot's
that
trying hard to catch up to him. It looks like Tiernizzle's going to hold on to it.
That 1.5 to 2 second advantage is still prevalent there.
And that's for the race of the lead this time. Tiernizzle and Sir Race-A-Lot still very close coming down here in the IndyCar Road America Classic. We are on lap 28 of 50. Still a long way to go in this race. But these two are top of the field right now, Sir Race-A-Lot and Tiernizzle.
Something has happened to WKK as now Carlin Hicks, Shane O'Connell, and Rita are all ahead of him.
Yeah, looking from his onboard, he's struggling a little bit.
Rita is really moving up the field. She has got the wind in the sails behind that car.
That cold could be coming up on Barron potentially. It looks like they're at about a 5-second range right now.
Cole's going to have to pit.
Earlier in the race, it was closer to about 10 seconds.
Yeah, and Cole is due to pit.
And Barron has already pit, so looks like it'll go back up to that 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long the pits take here. I forgot to check that.
I think it's roughly 10 to 15 seconds altogether, so we'll see. But as for current pit stops, we have Price in his stall, getting a 4-tire change and some fuel.
Yeah, a couple of these back markers, I don't know if they have super well pit strategies. Price obviously had to pit. He's down to almost 5 liters of fuel. Don't know if he could have made another lap with that 5 liters of fuel. He's filling it up, it looks like, as we roll on to somebody else here. As Sir Race-A-Lot, we're looking at second place. He's trying to track down Tiernizzle.
He's gained about a half second on the leader, Tiernizzle.
Well, you got to think Tiernizzle has a lot more fuel at this point too. And once Tiernizzle starts to burn off the fuel, he could get a little quicker.
That is very true.
And he's going to have a few laps better tires than Sir Race-A-Lot.
Cole
I
now in the
think fuel
pits.
makes up,
He's been
fuel
passed
makes
by
up the
Rita.
best. The biggest advantage is low fuel in this game. As much fuel as you have, you know, just a couple of liters less fuel is going to make you a couple tenths quicker. On the ovals, I'm thinking it's even more here with a big 4-mile racetrack. Having a couple liters less fuel is going to make you even quicker. So Race-A-Lot's probably got the quicker car at this point. And once Tiernizzle starts burning off his fuel and Sir Race-A-Lot has to pit, we're really going to see here Tiernizzle one less pit stop than Sir Race-A-Lot. If he's able to do one less pit stop, it's going to be a big lead. But right now, very close racing for the lead.
Rita is about 10.5 seconds behind Barron. They've both pitted. Let's just see how well she is driving. We'll do some comparison here in a minute after a few laps and see how much she's gaining a lap.
It'd be nice to get a onboard look here at exactly how much wheel input she's putting in. It looks like she's turning quite a bit. Again, she's had some experience here in the Trans Am race last night, so she's very familiar with the track, and I'm sure these cars drive a lot better than the Trans Am cars do.
Yeah, did you see that wheel action? Nice and smooth. You don't see any jerking going around in that car. That's why she's picking up spots.
Very smooth. These cars have a lot of downforce, especially on the high
Better
speed
go
corners.
back to the front. It looks like Sir Race-A-Lot is, well, I thought he was within a half a second here. We'll see.
We go on
Kind of bouncing around when one of them's on the straightaway and one of them's in the technical. But Rita did just make a pit stop.
All right.
She was down to 1.6 liter, 1.8 liters. She's really running that low.
Yeah, no wonder she was so high on Barron.
Time on Tiernizzle here.
I wonder why she was so high on Barron. Now I know. I'm really impressed with Tiernizl and Sir Race-A-Lot, though. As fast as they're running, they are keeping it on the track. That is hard to do at these speeds.
Definitely class of the field. Two of the best drivers out there, two of the fastest drivers out there, and all these technical corners, they're really hanging on to it. And it looks like Sir Race-A-Lot's moving in on Tiernizl.
Now we got a lap car, and oh, they went to the pit.
That would be your job.
You could see Tiernizl just got right on the back of that lap car as he was going in the pits to try to get all of the draft he could coming down this big long straightaway, with the big long straightaway being the fastest part of the track and the most important part of the track, like Coley was saying earlier, getting off of the corner and getting a good run down this big long straightaway. So you can see Tiernizl was trying to take all that draft he could, try and get just a little bit better run than Sir Race-A-Lot, so he can feel Sir Race-A-Lot breathing down his neck.
I'll tell you, Sir Race-A-Lot sure is keeping the pressure on him. I'll tell you, every time Tiernizl looks back in his mirror, I guarantee he's going, geez. It's hard to lose this guy.
Rita St. James doing her best to work up to WKK, although she's making slight mistakes here and there. She just slipped a rear tire off on the edge on that turn. She was within about a second and a half. Now it looks like she's back about two and a half seconds.
That would be interesting to
catching up and cold.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see here in a bit, because WKK is running a really, really good race, and if Rita's running her line right, it will be interesting to see if she can reel him in.
I've been
Although they're both running good races, WKK has been
watching WKK's onboard feed. It looks like he might be messing up just a little bit here and there, and I'm sure Rita's probably right on her game, so I think Rita might be able to reel in WKK. And just a little bit here, it looks like WKK's got quite a bit of fuel. He might be able to run out for at least another 10 laps here without making a pit stop. But from WKK's onboard, looks like he might be faltering just a little bit.
Yeah, his tires have got to be going away or something. He's all over.
Oh yeah, he got real loose up off of that corner. I think that was corner 5. And he's off in the grass. Holds onto it. He's doing a hell of a job wheeling it. He must have all-terrain tires on, but he's doing a lot of agricultural racing.
Yeah, he's farming a lot tonight.
Got the PTO engaged.
He keeps dipping in that grass. Rita's going to be there before he knows it.
Looks like Rita's reeling in on the second behind him here. And like you said, with him screwing up some of these corners, Rita's going to be right there. He keeps looking in the rear view, I can tell from his onboard. He keeps looking in the rear view down at Rita, coming down this big long straightaway. And Rita's trying to reel him in as much as he can. Looks like Tiernizl is pulling out kind of a big advantage here, almost like the 2 seconds on Sir Race-A-Lot. Those guys are still class of the field with Bill and Don Stosh over 30 seconds behind them. They're still doing a great job here, Tiernizl and Sir Race-A-Lot. Tiernizl with over 43 liters still on board. Not sure what Sir Race-A-Lot has, probably a little less than Tiernizl. But Tiernizl is going to try and stretch this out. It looks like with as green as this flag. And it looks like Sir Race-A-Lot's coming into pits one more time. So
wow. Oh, and he passed it up. Past his pit stall, he's got to back up. That's going to cost him some time.
Well,
like he said, set up to make it his last stop of the race, and he's probably hoping he can run the best of the race.
Well, and, like you said, being on the pit limiter, used to being pit limiter speed coming into the pits, and no pit road speed here in the SCL. He really flew into the pits there, trying to filter up with gas. It looks like he didn't take any tires. But him rolling over the pit stall is going to cost him the race. I think that was it just there. That cost him the race. Tiernizl's his race to lose at this point.
If he was a chicken and the pit box was his home, he flew the coop.
Yes, and yes, Actual Vision. The pit penalties are off, yes, and we do not run pit limiters here, so that is why you've seen what you've seen.
At SCL, we don't care about pit limiters. In some of the other leagues, the other
You run
races,
pit crews over, knock the legs out beneath them, that's A-OK.
in some of the other you'll have to get your own time.
Looks like commentator Johnny Benson Jr.'s headset is having trouble. We'll have him disconnect and reconnect that. Maybe we can sort out the technical difficulties. Rita is within about 3 seconds of WKKK now. She was within about a second and a half, so she's doubled that disadvantage there. As WKK is closing in on Cold, or rather, well, Cold could be falling back.
Yes, track penalties are off also, Actual Vision. Yes, track penalties are off. We monitor them, and if there's something grossly intentionally done, or we monitor that from here.
Skip earlier, as we saw, the race around was about 16 seconds and back after the initial pit stop with Tiernizzle, and it looks like he'll have to gain about 5 to 6 seconds on Tiernizzle to be able to catch up with him when Tiernizzle does make his last and final pit stop. Right now he's about 20 seconds back, so that'll be a mistake and an error away for Tiernizzle, and Storied may just be able to catch back up to him when Tiernizzle makes that final pit stop.
Yeah, we'll have to watch. Depending on Tiernizzle's pit stop here, we've seen Sir Race-A-Lot make a mistake in the pits. As Johnny Benson said, it could potentially cost him the race, but in the same token, listen, it can happen to the best of them. We'll see what happens when Tiernizzle pits and see how much ground Sir Race-A-Lot can make up until then.
I want to take a quick look
to see if Tiernizzle does the same issue here, but I think Tiernizzle might have a little bit better.
Got half of that.
He's done a lot more pit stops in the SCL than Sir Race-A-Lot has.
The battle between WKK and Cold is getting much closer here.
Yeah, he has reeled him in, or Cold fell back, one of the two. It looks like he's reeled him in because Rita has fell back off of WKK.
That would make sense. Have you been watching that onboard, Johnny Benson? Does it look like he's been focusing a little better?
Haven't lately, but it looks like Rita's definitely reeling him in as Cold. He's right on Cold's butt, so he's trying to reel in Cold, racing Cold really hard, and Rita might be reeling both of them in.
Rita has fallen back a slight bit, but as we were just talking, she has been reeling in both ends.
One thing for sure, Cold don't mind pressure. If you watch the Trans Am race, it was he had all the pressure he wanted for Tiernizzle, because the Trans Am race, I'm going to tell you, was Tiernizzle's all the way until the late race caution come out, and it caught up to him, and Cold held him off. He is not afraid of pressure.
Cold definitely held his nerve. You can go back onto the Digital Motorsports YouTube page and watch all of Cold's onboards, and he doesn't fluster when people get around him. He's iron steel nerves. Oh, looks like WKK is well off the track here, watching his onboard as he tries to get caught back up. It looks like down in turn 1.
Yeah, and Rita's around him.
Down the straightaway. Rita got around him. No, that was the last turn. Coming into the last turn, he was all over the track, off of the course, doing agricultural racing, and Rita got around him, doing that final turn there. Moves WKK back into 7th, Rita up to 6th.
I want to get an onboard here. WKK chasing Rita, and maybe we can see a little bit of a difference in line and overall speed. As,
oh boy!
He's driving off again. Making a total eye out of myself.
Well, he had in his defense, he had open air, and then once he got behind Rita, he no longer has that open air. He's got a little bit of that dirty air behind him, and that may have played a little factor.
That may have. He's putting a lot of wheel input. I don't know if he's struggling with front end grip. That's always a possibility too.
I think the main factor in WKK's run is just being so late in the race here, as we've already got quite a few laps, over 36 on his 4-mile road course. Fatigue is really setting in, and he's making mistakes left and right.
Fastest sector by Tierney. He just put a 40.9 second sector 1. Put that on, I believe, lap 36. He's used one of his quick pass boots now. Although, since we last checked in with the battle for first place, Sir Race-A-Lot has gained about 2 seconds, and he is completely out of his push pass.
I thought Sir Race-A-Lot was at 22 seconds behind. That would have given him, about 3.5 seconds, I guess he's gained back. But he's used both push to pass, so we'll see.
As you can see, Tierney both has a lot of push to pass left, so
yeah,
get even further up front. I think that pit strategy where he came in and missed his pits is really costing him seriously.
Yeah, I believe you're right there, and like you said, Tierney still has 8 push to pass. He is going to set himself up nicely as long as he just stays on the track and keeps going.
You know, it wouldn't even be a bad thing if Tierney just took it slow, not necessarily slow, but consistent. He didn't really waste that push to pass. Honestly, I think he could hold off on that and use it in a more vital situation if he needs to.
Well, if y'all know Tierney like I do, he ain't saving anything. He's running as hard as he can the entire race, and he's gaining that 18-second advantage over Sir Race-A-Lot, and he's going to use that push to pass whenever he feels necessary. But I really do not think that Sir Race-A-Lot's going to be able to make up that 18 seconds.
Yeah, and I was wrong earlier. He's only used 1 push to pass. He still has 9 left.
It's probably just so hard to use them, because when you do use them, they last for so long, and when you
got
gas
a lot
it up
of power on the rear
corners,
wheels.
Yeah, you have too much power through some of these tight corners, so it's probably better not to use them.
And they do last for close to 3 minutes. So that's a couple laps, it's essentially, or a lap and a half. You know, that's a lot of time.
Do they last that long on these road courses?
Now, the road course, that's a good question. I don't know. I was talking about the oval there. You're right. The road course may be different.
On the oval, they last a couple laps on the oval, so it's probably more like a whole lap on the road course here.
That's a good question that I'll have to check when I'm in my trials here and find out.
So it looks like Tierney thought about going in the pits there. He might be coming in within a lap or two for his final pit stop.
And the thing is, I don't believe with his final pit stop, I don't believe he will need full fuel.
It's tough to say how many liters they're burning per lap.
If that's the case, Sir Race-A-Lot will have to pit again.
I believe burning anywhere between 4, maybe 5 to 7 liters a lap. With about 14 laps remaining, if he pits this time. Excuse me.
I think Colio had a problem, folks.
Sorry.
Choking on a Skittle.
That's a Sprite.
He won't be using Burger King for his sponsor anymore because of the Sprite they served him.
Yeah, it looks like I'm riding along with WKK here on the Sunday Tough League YouTube channel on board. And it looks like he's falling just a little bit behind WKK, but he's making a nice He's holding a nice lead over Carlin, who's back in 8th place.
Oh, and WK passed his pit stall.
Carlin's just having a little bit of a rough day today.
Yeah, it's unusual for Carlin in the Sunday car. He's usually always pretty much top 5, and it's just not happening today.
Yep, that was big for WKK in the 21 car. He passed through his pit stall. Pits have been the story of the race. With as much green flag racing as there's been, driving, staying on track, and making good pit stops is going to be the factor to winning tonight.
Yeah, I spoke with Callie earlier today too, and he said he didn't have a lot of time on this track in these cars, so he was going to race it, but kind of try to see what he can do, and I guess he's doing all right for not having a bunch of track time.
Yeah, with this being our first season here on Project Cars 2, and a lot of these tracks we're coming to for the first time, pretty much everybody's rookies here. Even the rookies and the main veteran driver for the SCL, a lot of them have a lot of trouble here. Even at this track where we raced last night, and we're going to race tomorrow night. Tomorrow night they should be even better at it, but next season they're going to be a lot better at it and be able to plan out the strategy better.
That's for sure. There's Shane O'Kano in the hydroxycut car, passes his pit.
Looks like WKK is just about to get lapped by the leader.
We'll go on board with.
About 2 seconds
That's the
apart.
5th time that we've seen somebody pass their pit tonight.
You can bet the team owners will be telling them to practice, practice, practice. The pit crews will be busy practicing.
Your pit stops are way more
Tiernizzle
important.
coming in for his last pit stop, as we kind of predicted he would be coming.
We're right on board with him and see if he makes his stop. Oh, easily. Perfect stop.
He knows what he's doing. That's a true professional right there.
I did not see the gap between Sir Racelot and Tiernizzle before he went in, but if it was about 16 or 14 seconds, Sir Racelot could be right up with him, although it doesn't appear that's going to happen.
And he did take a full tank of fuel.
Behind Cali Vinyl, and he's not going to be right up next to him.
Nice move by Callie to let Sir Racelot by.
Half-second gap for the two, and Tiernizzle just pitted as he has 68.4 liters.
Yeah, he filled his tank.
Down to 30.
I think Sir Racelot's going to have to pit again.
I agree, and I don't think Tiernizzle will.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't see Sir Racelot making it the whole way. Although he does have a faster car, if he's able to maybe make a little bumper contact with Tiernizzle being a faster car behind him, he might be able to pull out a yellow flag situation and make up that time. Right now, if he has to pit again, he's going to be far behind Tiernizzle. And it looks like Tiernizzle's done what we thought he was going to do and put a pit stop on Sir Racelot.
Yep. Boy, they were close going through that corner too.
Maybe even more of a poor strategy by Sir Race, as it looks like quite a bit of the field is going to be making one less pit stop than Sir Racelot. Although Sir Racelot does have a very fast car, he will still be able to beat a few of the other cars in the lineup here, even with an extra pit stop. 20 now going in for his last pit stop of the race.
And he makes a good pit stop.
He's still going to stay in second spot even with an extra pit stop, since those two were the class of the field, but having to make an extra pit stop is going to take a lot of contention for the win. Right now they are very close.
One thing I want to look at here is Rita has now moved up all the way to about 2.5 to 3 seconds behind Cold, as compared to the 5 to 10 she was earlier. WKK has moved down significantly. Carlin Hicks has passed him, And one other thing I want to say is Cold is within 6 seconds of Barron. Maybe 7 or 8.
Rita is very consistent. I ran with her earlier at the race, National 300 Winston Cup race at Indianapolis, and we made one less pit stop than everybody else and finished 3rd and 4th. We made terrible cars. We were screwing up every
Was
corner.
that Cold that just hit the pit? Yes, Cold just hit the pits. Let's see how he does. He pulls in perfectly.
Got a little bit of grass coming into the pits there. As I was saying, Rita St. James really just plugs away at it, never gives up, and usually comes out with a good top 5.
She's really gaining on Barron, I want to say. Maybe not so much now.
You think her and Carlin were right next to each other about 20 laps ago, and she's pulled out over 2 spots over Carlin, and quite a big lead over Carlin. Looks like almost a second over Carlin, 2 seconds over Carlin. As Carlin makes his final pit stop of the night, Rita St. James has really been able to pull out a big advantage, and she might be knocking on Barron's back door here before this is all said and done.
Yeah, but does Rita have enough fuel? I think she has to pit.
I think Rita will have to make one more pit stop, but she's coming up with 11 laps to go.
No,
she's only got 9 liters.
Barron
has got enough to go the rest of the race, I believe. It's going to be really close, actually. He may have to make a pit stop on the last lap.
I think Barron probably has quite a bit of fuel. He's got plenty of fuel in the Triceiver ready car.
Triceiver ready.
Oh, please. We'd rather hear your ukulele.
For those of you racing in the Trans Am race last night, you couldn't get Polio to shut up with a ukulele.
He was giving them all some Tiny Tim lessons and not even know it.
He was tiptoeing through the tulips, that's for sure. As Tiernizzle has gained quite a bit, over half a second over Sir Race-A-Lot. It looks like Sir Race-A-Lot might have to pit again as we'll go back on board here with Sir Race-A-Lot. See how much fuel he is as it's depleting here with 8 laps to go.
Yeah, Rita should still finish. She should still finish in 4th place, even though she has to pit again. I'm positive of that.
It looks like last
Shane O'Cano and Cole will be really close to Rita.
I know, but they're not going to have the tire she's going to have. We'll see.
I'm going to say Rita's going to manage that 4th place.
But it looks like Indy 500 champion Tiernizzle is going to pull off another victory here in the Indy cars. Doing an awesome job.
Yeah, without a doubt, unless he does something just crazy, which I don't see happening. He's running flawless tonight.
One thing, you really got to give it to him. He didn't start off this race leading the race. I'm not sure where
Oh
he
my
started,
gosh, there I speak of it, and off he goes. Holy smoke, he's deep off too. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. There he goes. Wow.
It looks like he was able to get back to it. Oh, looks like maybe Twindy had to go around in there. Almost hit it. It might have been Baron Bunstosh. But I think Tiernizzle will be able to get going here. It looks like he's maybe 9 seconds, 10 seconds behind Sir Race-A-Lot. But with Sir Race-A-Lot having to pit again, I think Tiernizzle still might have this one won.
Yeah.
I noticed he's down to 8 on his push to pass. You think maybe he could have been on the end of a push to pass there? But
he possibly could have had it push to pass and just not being ready with as much, used to as much throttle as he had to put in there.
As I said, Barron would not have enough. He just made his last stop, and Rita's making hers too.
Ah, well that puts a different perspective on things. Rita may be able to pull 3rd out of this.
Taking a long pit stop as she's filling all the way up.
Yeah, she did.
That was a very long pit stop.
Too much fuel. She lost a couple spots there. Cold and Chino got around her. We'll see whether Cold and Chino still have to pit. But So Race a Lot's still going to have to pit here with 7 laps to go.
Shano will not have to pit.
Yeah, Shano looks good.
And what about Cold? Cold will not have to pit either. Yeah, you're.
It's Although just it is interesting to see here, Sir Race-A-Lot is definitely going to have to pit one more time. More than likely, he's going to pit this lap or definitely the next lap. If not, he will run out.
But the interesting thing is he's not going to have to take as much fuel as Tiernizzle did during his last pit stop. So if he can set up his strategy correctly and Sir Race-A-Lot can come in and not lose a full 10 seconds in the pits, he might still have a chance at this.
Right now, I'd say it's really up in the air for Sir Race-A-Lot and Tiernizzle. We'll just have to wait and see this pit stop and see how long it takes.
It looks like Uridon blew a motor. He's out of the race. But yeah, like we said, it was Tiernizzle's race to lose, and he might have lost it there with that big off. We'll see how much gas Sir Race-A-Lot takes. That's going to be the deciding factor in this as he gets ready to make his final pit stop.
I wasn't sure if you were saying his name or if you were just telling him that he was done. You're done. Is done. You're done. You're done. You're done.
Okay, yeah, you're quite right on this. Rita is behind Cold by about 5 seconds, and we'll see how that plays out with less than 10 to go.
Very fast. She's putting the power down. See how she utilizes those in the last 8 laps. Sir Race-A-Lot taking that last pit stop. This is very vital. We'll see where.
Oh, did he pass it or make it? Coleo's mic has just went bonkers.
Looks like Tiernizzle's back in the lead as Sir Race-A-Lot with the pit stop loses the lead, and it looks like he's a little bit behind Tiernizzle. Right now Tiernizzle has the lead by over 5 seconds on Sir Race-A-Lot, so he took quite a bit of fuel. I think he took more fuel than he needs, Sir Race-A-Lot did, so his strategy kind of screwed him there in the end. He might not have been able to take 5 seconds less of fuel, but I think he took just a little bit too much fuel there, and that might be the deficit that ties the noose around his neck here at the end of the race.
Yeah, either that or, hey, listen, the pressure is on. I know Tiernizzle handles pressure well, but we just seen him go in an off-road adventure. If he pulls another one of those, wow, that was 9 seconds, the last one.
And at the end of last night's Trans Am race, the pressure got to him too, racing for the lead.
That's correct.
Brakes locked up going through the last corner, so same thing happens again here tonight. Their race lot to still be in it.
Stuck.
And Coleo's mic has puked out. He needs to take a page out of Johnny Benson's book and slap it around a little.
R.I.P. Coleo.
How about now?
There you go. You're working again. Riding with Barron here. He's had a good race tonight, folks. Just holding steady. Yeah, it doesn't look like Rita's going to make the ground on Cold. I don't know why we're stuck riding with Barron. There we go. Now Rita goes around a lap car.
Looks like Indy 500 champion Tiernizzle, Daytona 500 pole sitter Tiernizzle is going to make another great run here and win here today at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. The Road America IndyCar race. Like you said, it's his race to lose, and he's got well over a 4-second advantage with just about 4 laps to go here, but that's quite a long ways as it's 4-mile laps, so he's still got quite a ways to go. It looks like we had one car go off behind him. I do not think that was the race a lot. Could have been Sir Race a lot.
No, it was not. We're riding with Sir Race a lot. He's fine. Yeah, like you said, it's Tiernizzle's race to lose here. I think he has this wrapped up, but man, just one little flaw, whether it be coming up on lap traffic, anything else, causes a mistake. It's going to be tough.
If he tries to use another one of his push to passes and gets too ass happy through the corners there, might be his tomato also.
Callie did move up a spot. He was running 10th for a long time. He's back up. He's up to 9th.
Looks like Rita's about 5 seconds behind Cold.
Yeah, that's
Cold
what they've been
about
holding
2
ever
seconds
since the
behind
pits.
Shane.
They've been holding that ever since the pits. I don't see that going much anywhere. And Shano has pulled off another full second ahead of Cold, so I don't see anything going there either.
Yeah, a lot of these positions are really going to stay here for these last 3 laps. Colt might be able to get up to Shano, but that's really the closest race on the track right now with Shano and Colt.
Yeah, and the only onboard guy we had, I think, tonight was WKK live, and I'm not sure if we can see how his tires reacted or not.
Looks like he's about a quarter of the way driven down on his left front tire. There's a lot of these are right-hand turns here at Road America. Not 100% sure. It's so small looking here on my phone screen, but
yeah, just gives us a little heads up, especially the leaders, the front runners that are really just flying through this course. You got to know they have to be eating that tire.
Yeah, they're probably eating it more than WKK is. They might be almost a half-gone tire. The left front tire be getting a beating here with all these.
Yeah, because it seems that Tiernizzle and Sir Race a lot, they're just stuck right at that 5-6 second mark, and neither one's losing or gaining much. Shano opening the gap a little more on Cold.
All of you racing at home, you're welcome to come join us tomorrow night to race in the Camel GT event here at Road America or Sunday's Formula One British Grand Prix. Those are going to be good events if you're more of a road course kind of person, or if you're more of a stock car oval kind of person. We have the 400-mile Firecracker 400 at Daytona for the Winston Cup Series Sunday night. So we're about halfway through a full banquet of racing here at Road America, and then our finale here at Daytona.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Sunday event. I'm really prepped and ready for that. Hopefully the Team Danamore cars can show a little bit.
It's all about who you race with there at Daytona. You're not really in control of much there at Daytona, as you know.
No, Daytona's always a crapshoot, but boy, it's nice to be in one of the lead packs if they get separated.
Team Danamore definitely making a comeback here late in the season. Obviously, they've missed pretty much all the races. They did a little bit of action last weekend that just didn't have the greatest showing, but I see that the Winston Cup cars for Team Danamore is definitely making some progress here in the final stages of this season and be a contender for the Cup next season.
And Tiernizzle just steady running the course.
He's pulling some time on Sir Race a lot.
Still the 5-second gap. Yeah. Just hold his nerve. He's got this one wrapped.
If anything, we might be seeing a little bit of a battle possibly coming up with Rita and Cold. She's gained a little bit on him over the past couple laps.
She has. She was at 6 seconds when we last looked, and she's within 3.5 now. She made full use of that last corner, whether she meant to or not.
Yeah,
definitely
I'm glad
helped
the Canada corner is paved too.
Unfortunate circumstances for WKK as he has not been able to concentrate within this last half of the race and has been gone off the track quite a bit. Other than that, he probably would have been a 4th place car.
Yeah, and very unusual for the Carlin Hicks too in the Sunday car. He's usually always at the end of these races in the top 5. He's definitely got some fatigue issues or something going on with that car this week.
Yeah, I saw that in the IndyCar or the Indianapolis Winston Cup race too. He was really off his game, so it looks like some races this season he's really been hit or miss. Not the normal Carlin Hicks we've seen, really competitive at the end. He's probably still just learning software and getting used to it as he is, but he's definitely a contender as he won last week's Texas race there at his home track in the Winston Cup. So I think he's got it together. Just some days he's off, some days he's on.
Looks like Tiernizzle's just kind of taking it easy a little bit here. You can tell that. He gives her race a lot a second, but that really doesn't make much difference if he loses 2 seconds over the next 2 laps. It's not going to hurt him.
Yeah, it looks like he's taking it easy, trying not to push those push-to-passes. That might have gotten him in trouble earlier. He lost all that room, but like you said, making one less pit stop is really going to be the winning factor here tonight.
I guarantee it comes on after the last corner. Just for show.
Looks like they're topping out on a lot of these straightaways right about 165, 170.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier, especially if I'm sure the push to pass topped them out instantly.
Yeah,
interesting to note here.
Setups half odds about 184 for these Indy cars. Obviously, your oval setup like at Indianapolis and Daytona, it's going to be a lot quicker than this. But
wow, WKK made a pit. Late race pit.
That advanced Carlin Hicks to the 7th position.
Yeah, let's see if these cold tires.
Taking a second pit stop after we thought he was on his last.
Wow, and you thought he took too much fuel there, JB.
He did not have quite enough fuel. He'd have ran out on that last lap.
Wow, that's really going to tuck him back.
Well, look at here, Tiernizzle. He's going to be really close too.
I'll guarantee you, if Tiernizzle is, he may run out.
If Tiernizzle does not have 6 liters of fuel or so going across that start-finish line, I do not think he'll make it.
He may have to roll across that start-finish line.
With a 12-second lead, that might be what he has to do. But I think he still has it in him. Obviously, he's been controlling his fuel quite a bit. If we see him just click into 6th gear and roll through all these corners, we'll know what he's doing. Well, it looks like he's not, though. He's still down in the 3rd gear.
Yeah, I haven't been driving this. Hey, listen, he may know his fuel, like you say. He may be right on the money.
It's hanging out. It's going to be really close.
And that would be a hell of a pit strategy if he goes across the line, take the checkered flag, and damn near no fuel in the tank.
Well, we're fixing to find out here.
He's going for it.
He is going for it. I think he's got enough. I think he's got plenty.
Got 6.8 liters of fuel going across the finish line.
Yeah, like you said, if he goes across the line with anything north of 6, he's going to make it. So it looks like Tiernizzle's going to pull off the victory here. We got one more lap to roll here. It looks like he might be pulling off the victory here for the Indy cars at Road America.
You can tell he's really taking it easy as Sir Race-A-Lot's continually gaining on him.
Got a big lead.
Looks like Rita is about 2 seconds behind Cold. I don't think that's going to develop into a battle unless Cold makes a mistake here.
Yeah, and Cold's got nerves of steel. He does not make mistakes usually, so that should be pretty sealed up too. It's just really going to be interesting.
Looking just a little bit further past Cold, we have Shane O'Cano, and he's either dropping back just a little or Cold's gaining.
He has dropped.
This could be a battle here.
They had to have gained on him. He had to have had an off because he had a 3 to 4. Oh, he's got problems. Shane O'Cano is pulling off here.
Might be out of fuel.
Shane O'Cano's with 2 liters of fuel here.
And he's pitting.
He is pitting. He wouldn't have enough. We're going to take a look at Tiernizzle here. He's got 3.5 liters. He's on the back half of the track here, and he's got about a quarter track left.
Yeah, I think he's got it.
Third of the track left.
He's got plenty of fuel then. He started with 6.8.
Tell you what, with that light of fuel, he might be clicking off the fastest lap of the race right here. And knowing Tiernizzle, he's not holding back anything.
I just don't think he will. I think knows he's got
he's
this.
Definitely held back a little bit unless Sir Race-A-Lot's tires were just that much better. Looks like he's coming across the start-finish line. He's going to finish with about 1.7 liters of fuel in the tank. Sir Race-A-Lot's coming along here. Look at that. About 6.8 seconds back.
Hell of a victory for our Indianapolis 500 champion Tiernizzle in the Benson Speed.
And Rita did get around Cold.
Sir Race-A-Lot, the independent driver, doing a great job of finishing second. Those guys were top of the field, and Baron von Stosch in the JME car pulling out a podium finish. Great job for him too.
Definitely. Rita did end up getting around Cold. That 4th place we predicted with about 15 laps to go. It's coming true. Once Cold manages to chase her down, he's really trying. He's pushing his hardest.
Yeah, Cold wants that. He wants that spot back. We'll see.
Go on board here with him. You're going to see his concentration he has trying to push past Rita here on the last lap of the race.
Speaking of push to pass, he has none. For the extra boost out of that corner. Nope, neither one do.
Looks like he's drafting up. He's not going to have enough room. But
nope.
Let me tell you, heck of a battle for the two.
Good race. Who we got left back there? WKK Carlin.
So WKK is making it through Canada corner right now, rolling up through the S's on the back straight. Looks like he's probably not going to reel in Carlin. Not going to get past that guy.
He's not going to reel in Carlin. Carlin next finishes about 2 seconds ahead of him.
Yeah, and Twindy, again, another rough night for Team TOW as captain. Last night was rough for him, and he just struggled to get up to the front tonight, too.
Let's take a look at the field on down the finishing order. We have Tiernizzle. He finished first. Sir Race-A-Lot ended up in second as he had to make one last emergency pit stop. He did not have enough.
Oh, and Daz throws a nice comment up at us on the live. He says, "Tier is not human. Can we get him banned?" Ha ha ha.
Well, we might have to strip down that Benson Speed equipment and see what's underneath the hood as we roll through the final finishing order here as Colio finishes it out.
I've done vowed myself, Daz, if you can hear me. This is Kips. I have vowed myself to out-qualify Tiernizzle for this Sunday's race.
Good luck. He sat on the pole for the Big 500, kid.
That's okay.
Well, if you put up that might be a challenge to Tunizzle, and he's definitely going to go for it. Looks like we got our top 10 is going to be Tunizzle finishing in the lead, Sir Race-A-Lot putting up a valiant effort, finishing second. Baron von Stosh again for JME, getting the podium finish. Rita St. James and Cold finishing out the top 5. 3 JME cars, 3rd, 4th, and 5th there. Shane O'Kano finishing 6th. Carlin Hicks finishing 7th for the JME cars.
Yes.
Another TOW driver in 8th place there, WKK. Hell of a drive here at Road America, Wisconsin.
Very good, fellas. Very, very good.
Nice, clean, green race. That's what we want to see, is green flag racing.
Yeah, if we get a chance here, we might be able to pull Tunizzle and Sir Race-A-Lot in for a talk, and our 3rd placer also, Baron.
I'll work on getting them in here.
You okay?
We may have to get somebody else out. Well, Baron's already in here, so we'll just
Okay.
to your...
Tunizzle's in the party. We'll get a talk with him here in a minute.
Looks like you did a hell of a job there at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin tonight. Looks like you had a little bit of an off there. We swallowed our gum watching you slide off the track there. You had the lead. But it looks like you had to make one last pit stop, maybe 2 less pit stops than Sir Race-A-Lot had to, and you just barely had enough fuel coming across the start-finish line there to take the victory. How'd it go for you in the car there, Tunizzle?
Well, car felt great in clean air, but as you saw, whoever was in front was quicker for the most part. When I was in front, I was definitely quicker than Sir Race-A-Lot, but then when he was in front of me, I couldn't keep pace with him. So me getting that extra lap and getting in front of him on pit strategy definitely helped me out during that race. Just being able to stay in front of him.
Yeah, I had mentioned that same thing you're talking about, Tunizzle, earlier when we was watching other guys, and noticed that exactly what you said. So it's a good thing to hear that come out of you guys, to know that.
Yeah, I was a little worried there. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, there's 2 kind of worries. When I got held up by Callie that one time, he was quick enough to where I couldn't get past him too quick, but then enough to kind of keep me behind him. So starting to sweat there a little bit, and then obviously at the end when I didn't know if Sir Race-A-Lot had fuel, and when he pit, I could just press the clutch in and kind of keep it.
Yeah, it looks like you just barely made it on fumes there crossing the start-finish line. Baron von Stosh had a great race. Baron, coming off of a podium finish, a hell of a drive for you, bud.
Yeah, I was actually mostly alone the whole race. I was mainly competing with Shano on pit strategy, and I think around lap 43, I had to come in for a splash of fuel, and I was a little scared about whether or not he was going to pass me. But I just put in about 10 liters, and I just went, and I was still about 7 seconds ahead of him at the time.
Just getting what you can out of it. Hell of a run there for you JME guys.
Yeah, and I was going to talk to you guys too last night, Tunizzle. That was one hell of a race last night. Also, I wanted to congratulate you on that, even though it ended up you couldn't pull it off. But listen, you had that race. That race was yours totally until the late race caution come out. My hat's off to you and to Cold also, even though he's not in here, because, hey, listen, he did a great job of holding you off.
Yeah. We had a little text chat, and I congratulated him on the win. Yeah, you did a great job keeping up with me at the end there, or staying ahead of me too.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, because really it was your race. You controlled the whole race, but that late race caution comes out, and you never know what happens after that.
Yeah, I think one of the big things was doing the pit speed limiter. My tires got super cold. I was running on the harder compound, and whenever it got cold, it slide everywhere.
Yeah, it takes a few laps to come in. Yes, I understand totally. Yeah, and I don't know the different compounds that was available tonight, if any, but it seemed like some people's cars later on in their fuel run was just pushing like crazy.
Yeah, I think that has more to do with the way people set up their anti-roll bars. If you looked at me, you could tell I was pretty loose the entire time, so my tires would burn out pretty evenly. So I was getting that much of a push. The only time I'd start to get out of shape.
Yeah, I noticed that you weren't getting quite as much as a push as other people, but other people like Cold and Callie, they were really pushing late in the runs because they were just cranking that wheel around those long corners.
Yeah, I like a loose car, and it kind of bit me in the ass a little bit there coming out of turn 2.
Coming out of turn 2, you did loop it there. Yeah, we were watching you live right when that happened, actually, and we weren't sure if Sir Race-A-Lot was going to have enough gain right there.
It looked like you had Antoine Senna driving the car.
Yeah, that was a 10-second farming episode there.
Yep. I was a little worried because that was one of the worst parts of the track too, because there's a lot of grass between me and the track.
It takes a long time to get back on that pavement.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was farting around with my strategy, just going through the numbers, seeing if I can make it. I didn't know if I was going to make it at that time.
Listen, your strategy was spot on. That is what got you that race, was the not making the extra pit stops.
Yep. Actually, I think Sir Race-A-Lot had 2 more pit stops than I did that one, because he had that two late fuel stops. So that's really what saved me.
He did, and he also, little that you don't know, but he also overran his pit stop once.
Is that the first pit stop that happened?
Yeah, he had to back up to it. I mean, it was just a small amount. He didn't drive straight through, but I mean, still, that's costly.
I think that was the deciding factor, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it was about probably 5 seconds extra there, causing that. But yeah, no, great race between you two. You guys definitely owned the field, and Barron, again, your third place finish was really well.
Thanks. Let me just say 2 things here. Yeah, let me just say 2 things here. First off, it's just really nice to come to Road America and place well. 1, because it's my home track, and 2, coming off of Indy, having a right front wheel locking up on me, and I couldn't get it unfrozen, and I just wanted a little bit of redemption, because I've always ran well in IndyCar. And then 2, back to that botched pit stop. The pit road is very difficult because it's on a hill, and it comes over, and nobody really expects it.
You're saying it's tough to find your pit box whenever you're looking in the sky.
Yeah.
And like you said, at Indianapolis 500 2 weekends ago there, Barron, you really had a fast car. You showed it in qualifying, and that's really a downfall for you with the wheel locking up and you being stuck in the pits and not being able to pit or whatever it was with you. But that was really tough to see. And,
well, racing's racing.
Tunes won that one too.
Oh, I have no delusion about that one. That was pure luck.
Hey,
that was a hell of a race there at the end of the Indianapolis 500. You guys can go back and watch that on the YouTube channel. But another great win here for Tierney at the end of this one. Looks like we're not going to hear from Sir Race-A-Lot here at the end. But any final comments here as we get ready to wrap it up and roll off the air here?
Yes. I do have one. I'm freshly back to this, as you all know, but I was always adamant on qualifying and being in the top when I qualify. We used to get a point for it. Obviously, we don't no more, but it still doesn't matter. It's your competitive nature. Tiernizzle, I'm curious to know what you ran to get the pole for the 500, because I'm hoping to give you some competition when it comes to qualifying for Sunday's race.
Well, at Indy, I did not actually get the pole.
The Daytona.
Or the Daytona 500, I meant.
500.
Yeah.
I don't remember what my time was. I qualified pole, but I didn't actually run the race. Me and Hasek had connection issues, so I just gave it to him.
Hey, and Hasek is very fast too, I've noticed, on qualify.
Daytona 500 champion, Hasek.
Yep. But anyhow, I look forward to racing with all you guys again, and that's all I wanted to say. And I really do. I pride myself in trying to qualify in the top, especially on the ovals. Not so much on the road courses, but the ovals. So we'll see how it ends up here as I get used to the new equipment.
Yeah, I think you're definitely going to be one to compete with here as we get later in the season and into next season, Kips. But we've had some good racing here. We're going to have some more good racing tonight here at Road America with the Camel GT machines coming out with the Porsches, see what they can do, and obviously our British Grand Prix and Firecracker 400 on Sunday. A full list of racing here in the SCL. Again, if anybody wants to join the SCL, you can join our community, SCL Racing Network community page, or you can look at our website, that is sundaycupleague.wix.com/SCRN for any info, and you can go ahead and message us. We can help you join the league, get you into it here. We're open to anybody that wants to come race, and as you've seen tonight, we have some very good racing. So we're going to wrap up tonight for Kips Hauling Ass, for Colio, for the winner of the race here, Tiernizzle. So Race a Lot did an awesome job here, and Baron Von Stosh finishing third on the podium. I'm Johnny Benson, and we'll see you tomorrow.
That's correct. Nice podium, fellas. Good night.
This has been a
presentation of Sunday Cup League Racing Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission is expressly prohibited without the written consent of the Sunday Cup League.